I like to play this open source first person shooter game called Assault Cube that I downloaded for free, and you can find it online. I'll probably put a link in the description someplace. It's pretty cool for just being a light engine first person shooter. It's cube based, but it lets you design your own levels and design your own maps and play with other people online. So it's kind of like Call of Duty Light or whatever you want to call it. But what I think is sweet about it is you can design your own maps that you play on. And I designed one. I'm going to share it with you because I saw some other videos on YouTube where people were sharing their maps that they made, and I'm just going to pull it up right here. But I want to talk to you guys about level design and this way of innovating what you can do with the map builder to make a bracket type map. And I'm just going to start pulling up some images because it'll be easier to explain, but here we go. So I wrote a few guides on how to make your own maps in Assault Cube, and most of them kind of teach you there's two basic map designs. One is the arena type map, and the other is just a bunch of rooms that are kind of linked together into like a maze. But I kind of made up my own here, and it's called a bracket map. And on the lower half, as you can see, there's like brackets, kind of like the NCAA tournament, and the red dots and blue dots are starting points, and the players spawn and kind of work their way through a bracket to get to the blue room in the center, which I'm going to load the map here, and you'll be able to see. But from there, you got to work your way to the center of the room, and all the people that are coming out of brackets on their other sides will also be dropping into that room. So it kind of keeps the play going towards the center, and it makes it so that players can't camp. They have to keep going towards the center, because the way that you'll play this is in capture the flag mode. And here you can see my map, and the dots represent the starting points. And I'm going to draw the lines here. Like the green kind of represents where you're going to have matchups, so whoever wins the first bracket will go, and they'll fight each other in the green, kind of like a second round. And after that round, you will advance to the room in the middle. I'm going to show you that here next, but this kind of zooms in on it. And what you got to do in this room is get to that pink dot in the middle, and that's going to be a tower, or kind of like a hole that you have to drop down. This is kind of themed after like March Madness, you know, NCAA basketball. So it's kind of like taking it to the hole. I think it's kind of funny, but it's also kind of themed after like a nuclear disaster. And as you can see, when you get out in the room here, it's going to be kind of like a meltdown or something. Or right here, you can even see it in the second round of the bracket, where people will be fighting in this hallway, and whoever wins will come down the other side there, and they can go forward here. And this is the main room here that I was showing you right here. And what you're going to do here, the yellow spots represent where you come in if you win both brackets, and you got to work to the center. This is the simplified version, which the center would be the green dot here, because from the center you drop through a hole, and what you do from there is you're going to go to like the championship round where the actual flags will be. And once you get there, you know, you can start running the flag back and forth in a single room to score points. So this is ideally going to be kind of a high-scoring capture the flag round, and I think it makes for an interesting gameplay. I just threw that grenade up into the hole I was talking about. There's a ladder on the other side that we're going to run over to, and what you do is you run around in here and get to the hole, because from there you're going to run down the hallway into the flag room where you can score points. But what I like about this setup is each time you come through here, you're going to face different amounts of opponents. You know, like you might not see anybody in the first round or the second round, like the hallways coming into this first main room here. But you might see, you know, one person, you might see two people at different times. Like then when you get to the main room, it might be three of, you know, your buddies on your own team against one other guy. It might be you against three of the other people. It might be a 5-on-5, or like it will be a different gameplay every time you come through here. And it's kind of supposed to simulate basketball to a sense, where it's like interesting every time, but the idea is that randomness will keep it interesting, and like you'll never really see the same event twice. So you start out here, you gotta work your way through the tunnels here, the first like the two buy-in games or whatever you want to call it, to get to the first main room. And here you're coming up to get into the main room. There's a few different points where you can drop in. Over on the left by those windows is the other hallway, and people will drop in there. And I mean, strategy-wise, you don't necessarily have to go straight for the hole. Like you can climb up there. There's a couple different spots higher up where you can shoot down and snipe from or whatever, or you could hang out in this main room. You can shoot down into the tunnel here that takes you to the flag room, or like, I mean, if you want to wait until some of your friends come through, it might be wise to try to go into the flag room with 3 or 4 different people from your team, depending on how many players you have. But I just think this is an interesting map design, a different kind of layout that you don't really see on the Assault Cube servers. And I just wanted to put it out here to kind of try to inspire you guys to try to maybe play with this idea. It kind of uses some gravity type ideas. So like once you drop into that main room, you can't really go backwards. And like once you drop into the tunnel there that I'm looking down at, you know, you have to follow the green path kind of that I have mapped out here to take you into the flag room. And this is the green path. It's underground, and you have to use the what is it? The platforms, as you can see here on this hallway too, to make a map like this, because obviously once you drop into the hole you have to run underneath some of the other stuff. But now I'm going to show you the championship room here, and the idea is you get to pick which side you go, you know, right or left to come down here. And there's one of the flags, and there's the other flag down here. This is like an Irish basketball court or something. But yeah, you know, if you're in there alone, run back and forth like I am now, you know, score a few points for your team. If you're in there and somebody on your team's already doing it, maybe hide in a corner or something and you know, snipe. Here's where they drop down from one side. You can get up on the bleachers over here. That's supposed to be like the crowd, and you can snipe maybe up here. But you know, you could have a 3-on-2 in here, or 2-on-2 or whatever. Like, it's supposed to be a fast-paced, quick, high-scoring, capture the flag type map design, and I call it the bracket layout, as opposed to like arenas or whatever else you call different map designs. But I like it. I think it's cool. I want to see some of your guys' ideas, see your comments here, and let me know, you know, what you think of it. I'd also kind of be curious to see your guys' own takes on how to make a bracket map and the different ideas you can play here. But I'm gonna try to put this out on the server more. It's already on some servers, so you might see this. If you really want to get it, or you know, try out my map, I guess you can send me a message on here, and I will figure out a way to email this to you or whatever. But yeah, I think it makes for fun play. Right here is kind of like another area. If you drop down here, it's a pretty decent little sniper spot because everybody has to run through there, but you can't get back out. I'm going to show you here, like, you're stuck down here, so if you decide to hang out there, maybe you know your team's already scoring points in there and you just want to fortify the tunnel, you know, it's an option. Like, I think this makes for interesting play because you never know what you're going to see, you know, when you start out in the first 2 rounds. You might come through here and not see anybody as play progresses and players are on different points on the map, or you might have different people you have to shoot on both rounds, and like, you know, there's different, if you have a shotgun in there at first, it might be easier to get through there, but once you get out into the main rooms, you know, it might be better to have an assault rifle or maybe a machine gun or whatever, you know. Then in this tunnel too, maybe if you have a I'm sorry, you know, in this tunnel here, if you have a shotgun or something, it might be better for you to hang out in the tunnel and try to blast the enemies at close range versus to run into the flag room and try to score points, especially if you know your team's already in there, or maybe the other team has 4 or 5 different people in there, so you got to rally your team up in the tunnel to go in there and raid them or whatever. But yeah, this is my take on an Assault Cube level. I'm sure it could be better, but I think it's cool. I'm curious to hear what you guys think of it.